In this video, you're going to learn how to create object masks using Lightroom. We're going to start with just a brief overview of object masks, and then we'll go into a demonstration and show you how to create some of these object masks. So let's talk first about what object masks are. Object masks are used to manually select and mask specific objects that are within your photo. These can be created in one of two ways, and they're initiated by going to the Create New Mask pane and then selecting Objects. From there, you can either brush over the object that you want to highlight to be part of the mask, or you can draw an outline around the object and allow Lightroom to automatically find the object that you want to highlight as part of your mask. So this is very useful for editing individual elements in your scene. Right, so these are pretty straightforward. Right? There's not a whole lot to discuss here. In the next section of the video, we'll move to a demonstration and show you how to create some of these object masks. So stay tuned for that. Next, we'll move on to a demonstration that shows you how to create these object masks. Just like with all the other masks that we have seen in this video series, you're going to initiate an object mask through the Create New Mask pane. And to initiate this, you just simply select Objects. And from here, you have two options, right? And the options are defined here on the Object panel. The default is to essentially draw a brush on top of the object that you want to include as part of the object mask. So we'll start with that. And you'll notice below the buttons here, there is a size slider that you can use. And as you move this back and forth, left or right, you can see what you're doing here is you're just controlling the size of the brush. So very similar to using the brush mask. So we'll leave it here at, let's just say 20, size of 20. And from here, all you're going to do is simply brush over the object that you want to include. And so it's very simple. Right? You're just going to brush over. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right? You just want to get something that's pretty close here. So we're going to select this little headstone and just brush over it. Make sure we include everything here. And then when you're done, you just release. And then you use Lightroom will auto-detect the object that you've selected. You can see in this case, it's done a very good job of identifying this headstone. Right, so that's the first method. Again, all you're doing there is just simply brushing over the object that you want to include as part of the mask. Your other option here is to essentially drag a box or a rectangle around the object you want to select. So we'll focus in on this headstone just to the right of the other headstone that we've already identified. And all you're going to do here is just simply drag a box or a rectangle around the object, just like this, and then simply release. And it detects and selects the object. And again, does a very good job of selecting objects. So again, you can either brush over the object or you can simply drag a rectangle. In either case, you should be able to identify your subject here, your object. As far as which to use, I typically use a brush for situations where the object doesn't have a well-defined specific size. So that made it perfect for this particular headstone where you've got some different sizes here, and it just makes more sense to use the brush in that case. Whereas you've got a little bit more uniform object with this headstone just to the right of the other headstone. That one made more sense just to draw a rectangle because it's a little bit more uniform than the other one. That being said, you could in theory use either of these. So that's pretty much all there is for these object masks. They're very easy to create using either method. So I appreciate you joining me for this video, and we'll see you again soon in a future video. For more information, you can follow me at the following resources. I'm on the web at ericpimplerphotography.com, and you can also find me on Instagram at eric_pimpler.